Awesome. Well, it's about 10:03, so I think we're going to go ahead and get started just to make the most of our time together this morning. Well, thank you so much to everyone that's joining us. Today is our second webinar in a series of 10 that we're going to be hosting for Give Miami Day. In a series of all the nonprofit trainings, we have a lot of exciting new updates and new features this year. And so we're excited to be able to give these presentations to make sure that everyone has all the information needed to help make your Give 90 Day campaign a success this year. All right, so quick intros. My name is Chelsea Clark. I'm Programs Associate here at the Foundation, and I'm joined by my colleague, Ruth Ramirez, our Senior Director of Collaborative Philanthropy. And I'm going to be going through the first half of our presentation, and then I'll pass it over to Ruth for the second half, and then we'll open it up for our standard Q&A session towards the end. So just a quick housekeeping notes. So we'll save about 20 to 30 minutes at the end of the presentation for Q&A until we run out of questions. So please feel free to submit any questions into the Q&A feature at any time, and we'll be monitoring that to make sure that we get them answered at the end of the presentation. So for the purposes of this webinar, we just ask that any questions submitted during the Q&A be about Give Miami Day more broadly rather than questions about your individual organizational campaigns. And of course, for any specific questions that you may have, please feel free to reach out to our team at givemiamiday@miamifoundation.org, and we'll be happy to help. One other quick note, this webinar is being recorded and we'll be posting it to the trainings page of givemiamiday.org in case you aren't able to stay for the full training or would like to go back at any time to reference it later on. And the same goes for all of our trainings. We'll be recording all of them and posting them online. So not to worry, if you're unable to join any of them live, you'll be able to go back to the website and reference them whenever it's needed. I'm hearing that there's a little bit of static again for this. I don't know if it's my headphones, but I'll do my best to try to enunciate as much as possible to talk through the static. Sorry, everyone. Okay, so save the date. If you haven't already, make sure that you mark your calendars. So this year's Give Miami Day is taking place on Thursday, November 18th. It's always the Thursday before Thanksgiving each year. Right, so nonprofit registration. As I'm sure many of you are aware, nonprofit registration is now open. So we opened up a little bit earlier this year in July, and it'll remain open for the next couple of months until October 1st. Also, just a quick reminder, we have just under 2 weeks left of our early bird registration period, which ends on Friday, August 20th by midnight. All organizations that submit their registration by then will be entered into a raffle to win an additional $1,500 on Give Miami Day, along with other benefits. All right, so today's agenda. So the biggest things that we're going to be going through, I'm going to be taking us through what are power hours, as well as what is early giving. And then I'm going to pass it over to Ruth to go over creating Give Miami Day events, as well as putting it all together for a successful campaign. And then we'll dive into the Q&A with both of us towards the end. All right, so let's get going. All right, so what are power hours? So implemented for the first time last year, power hours are a great way to increase support and access to incentive funding pools. Power hours help nonprofits raise more money and help donors find organizations that address issues that they care about. When you register to participate in Give Miami Day, you must select a main issue area category that best conveys your organization's work. The category selected will be your organization's power hour. For any gifts between $25 and $10,000 made to your organization during your power hour, you will receive an additional bonus percentage. The bonus percentage will be calculated by dividing the power hour's total bonus dollars raised for the category by the total eligible gifts made to the organizations included in that power hour. The foundation is fundraising for power hour bonus pools up until Give Miami Day. So we don't know exactly how much is going to be in each of the bonus pool, in the power hour bonus pools yet. There's no limit as to how much an organization can earn during a power hour, but we will only use up to the first $10,000 of any gift to qualify for the bonus percentage. So if someone donates to your organization a gift of $50,000 during this hour, only the first $10,000 of that gift will qualify for the bonus percentage. The power hour schedule for this year is the same as last year's. We recommend that you take a look at the schedule. It's on the website as well as on the slide here. And just to make sure that you're fully aware of when your power hour falls so that you can take full advantage. And if you're unsure about which category you selected during registration, you'll find it listed at the bottom of your organization's public-facing profile on givemiamiday.org. All right, the equity power hours. All right, so our equity power hours are also the same as last year's, placing emphasis on organizations that are both led by and serving our Black and LGBTQ+ communities. In order to qualify for a Black Equity Power Hour, your organization must be both Black-led and focused primarily on serving our Black community in Miami-Dade.
Chelsea, I think you cut out.
Oh no. Okay, I'll go through that again.
Or maybe it's me. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no worries. So as far as the LGBTQ+ Equity Power Hour, in order to qualify for this one, your organization must be both LGBTQ+ led and primarily focused on serving our LGBTQ+ community in Miami-Dade County. The organizations taking part in one or both of these power hours are still eligible to receive their main category power hour percentage bonus. All right, so the benefits of participating in the power hours. So by encouraging your donors to give to your organization during your power hour, you will receive an additional bonus percentage gift on top of every gift made between $25 and $10,000. In addition to receiving extra funds, you'll increase visibility among donors interested in giving to organizations like yours and highlight the work your organization is doing. It's also just a fun way for all organizations to take part in the excitement of Give Miami-Dade throughout the day. We'll have 11 of these different power hours, so it's just really fun and exciting way for donors to engage even more with our organizations that are participating. All right, so the next topic, what is early giving? So the early giving period will take place this year from November 15th to the 17th. During this time, the givemiamiday.org portal will open up for early gifts to be made to all organizations. Gifts made during this time will be eligible for prizes and the standard bonus pool percentage match. Benefits of participating during the early giving period include having more time to input any pledged gifts that your organization may have received while still receiving the additional bonus pool percentage. Also, any of your supporters that set up champion pages for your organization will have time to spread the word throughout the week so that you can fundraise throughout the entire week of Give Miami Day, not just on Give Miami Day. And just to review our general bonus pool, so the Miami Foundation fundraises to add on an additional bonus gift on top of every donation made to your organization between $25 and $10,000. This is what we call the bonus pool. The bonus percentage is calculated by dividing the total bonus pool dollars raised by the total number of eligible gifts. For example, if the bonus percentage comes out to 6% and a nonprofit raises $5,000 on Give Miami Day, their bonus percentage gift is $300. The foundation determines the bonus pool percentage at the conclusion of Give Miami Day, and all gifts made on both the day of the event as well as during the early giving period between $25 and $10,000 are eligible for bonus pool funds. All right, now I'm going to pass it over to Ruth.
Awesome, Chelsea. Thank you so much for just giving us the overview of power hours and early giving. These are two key features of what makes Give Miami Day very unique. And it's a pleasure to be here with you all to just share a little bit more about my personal experience as a fundraiser and how we are using early giving and power hours to really make your successful campaigns happen this year. Just want to know if you do have any questions, make sure you're putting them into the Q&A feature. And if you see a question that you already wanted to ask, you can thumb it up and we'll know that multiple people are asking the same question. And then we'll make sure that we'll be able to address those during the Q&A. So we'll have time for those questions as well. So let's dive into Give Miami Day events. And I know that we were thinking about COVID and we were thinking about the current state of our community. But I wanted to just highlight and get you thinking about how we can use events and power hours and early giving all together to really make a successful campaign for Give Miami Day. So in our kickoff, if you actually attended, actually give me a like a high five or give me a 1 in the chat if you actually attended the kickoff event that we had on August 3rd. I want to see how many of us here were. Okay, so we have a few. Great. So During our kickoff, we actually announced 10 of the top resources for Give Miami Day. And this one is one of the ones that we shared with you guys. And we were so excited about it because it's a new feature that Give Miami Day has to offer. So this year, we have upgraded our website to provide nonprofit event hosting. And what that means is that nonprofits will be able to promote their Give Miami Day events happening between November 15th and November 18th, so that week of Give Miami Day. And you can use it to really mobilize your donors to raise more dollars throughout the entire time. So I want to show you how early giving and power hours do not contradict each other, but rather they complement one another through this feature that donors will be able to search. And if you see here in the donor menu, when they go into their donor menu, they have all these options, and nonprofit events is one of the ones that is there. And I'm going to show you how to create that event today. So setting this up is quite simple. You'll be able to go into your nonprofit portal, and in the back end, you'll be able to click on Give Miami Day Profile. When you do so, by clicking on Give Miami Day Profile, you'll see your menu of options that you can view all of the back-end information in your portal. Everyone has the same view, and when you click on events, you'll see this message here, basically alerting you that if you have any Give Miami Day events happening between November 15th and November 18th, you can definitely post them on our website, and our entire community will be able to see them. These will actually post live. So when you post them, they will show up on the website immediately. Of course, the Miami Foundation holds the discretion to be able to edit or remove any posting of events that do not align with our mission. They have to be Give Miami Day focused events, and we will reach out to your team if we have any questions regarding your event. You're welcome to add it in-person or virtual events here by simply clicking the Add New Event button on the top right of the screen, where I'm showing with the purple arrow, and then you'll be able to list out an actual URL and other additional website links that you want to post. So let's dive into how we do that. By clicking on the Add New Event, what you're going to see is this window that will pop up, and it's very simple. You'll be able to name the event, share the date for the event, the time frame for that event, and then the description for that event. So here I did test event. It's going to be on the 15th of November. I said my test event will be starting from 12 to 2 p.m., ending at that time. I put my event description as this is a test event. And then the event location can be a physical or an online URL, be it an in-person or virtual event that you're hosting. So you can put your Zoom link in here, Google Meet link in here, or any other kind of platform you're using for a virtual event. And if you have any other kind of function links like Eventbrite link for registration you want your donors to go to, or you want them to go to a landing page on your nonprofit's website, you can then put that in the external link about the event. And just make sure that you're following the instructions here, that it starts with the https:/writing. I just want to note again, these are going to be Give Miami Day focused events. So we will talk about how to create a Give Miami Day focused event in this presentation, but note that they should only be happening between November 15th and November 18th, which is when the campaign goes live. And then when you actually go into the donor portal, into the donor menu, when you click on it, this is what it will look like. So if you go on our website right now, you can actually see our test event saying this is set up for November 15th from 12 to 2 and giving the description. So this is just this quick sample of what it will look like and what I wanted to show you and what donors will see as soon as you submit your nonprofit event through your nonprofit portal. So now let's put it all together. That was quite a simple process. And I want to show you how, when you create this event and you're thinking about strategies on what kind of events to do, how to really think outside the box and use it to leverage your campaign. So we have a mix of in-person and virtual events you can host. Again, thinking about how we're going to be engaging with our community in a safe manner during COVID. Your organization may already be engaging with donors or not, or choosing to fully stay virtual. So here I've created a listing of options and ideas that you can run with and how to create an event and what kind of events to think about to engage your donors during early giving and power hours. So if we go down the list of in-person events, these don't need to be massive gatherings. They can be one-on-one or a handful of group of individuals who feel comfortable coming and joining you in person. But some of the things that I did as a director of development at KIPP Miami before joining the Miami Foundation were these things. So I'm pulling out of my own hat of experiences that we were able to host for our donors in our community for the past 3 years of Give Miami Day. Every single time we did one of these, it really leveraged our engagement with our donors in our community. And we were quite successful in fundraising and reaching our fundraising goal because we were able to leverage the exposure of our mission to our donors. And that's really what it's about. It's helping donors and potential givers to connect with your mission and really engage. It also gives you another platform to show off the kind of work that you're doing. So a day off watch party, for example, would be an opportunity for you to have the leaderboard up, getting your board members together, having them invite a few of their colleagues or friends, and engaging your donor base and prospects in a way that gets them really excited about how the ticker of your goal is going. And now not only your personal nonprofit goal, but also your the community ticker. It's really momentous to see and really exciting to see the dollars coming in as the day's going on. And so I remember in 2019, we did a watch party at a small, boutique. And depending on your budget or size, we're able to budget about $2,000 for a watch party that brought in $25,000 of contributions at that time. It was $25,000 new we were not expecting, but we're hoping to engage new donors. This functioned as an opportunity for us to introduce ourselves to other people because our board members brought their friends, and then they later on continue to become our donors and support the mission. So it's not only just part of your Give Miami Day campaign, but it creates an entry point in a funnel for you to be able to engage new donors in a way that's exciting but casual. One of the really cool features you can do at a day of watch party is really having a screen with the leaderboard, because it's cool to see who's where or where your organization is on the leaderboard, and filtering it by the kind of features that we have on the leaderboard. Now, parlor events hosted by a board member or a champion. Again, thinking about the sensitivities that exist around COVID and in-person engagement, parlor events might be more of a realistic aspect for an in-person event this year. A parlor event is something that a champion or board member can host at their own personal home, a donor, and they basically can invite their peers or their network to support their peer-to-peer campaign. These should be low-lift events on your part. So if you're a small organization, if you are a small team of one or volunteer run, then what the goal is that the donor is the one who is really driving the engagement for their network, the engagement for their peers, and showing that they're championing your cause. The best way to do a parlor event is to have one team member participate, sort of as the voice and the representative of the nonprofit, while the host and the owner of the home would be the one who's really engaging their donors. And you're just there to be able to answer any questions and share about the mission. They do not have to be long events. They can be 45 to an hour and a half events and gathering, very casual in a way to come in and learn about the mission without gathering people at the nonprofit or gathering people at an expensive venue. A mission-aligned event, for example, a 5K walk, a school tour, or serve and give fundraiser, and I'll explain what those are. But mission-aligned events are ways that you can get a specific activity to blend with giving. So getting folks engaged in volunteerism and then giving, which is a serve and give fundraiser, right? An opportunity for them to connect with your mission. If you work at a school, if you're fundraising if you have an actual physical facility, getting them to come and mulch and then give, connecting them to the mission, giving them a hands-on experience that helps them understand what your organization does and why it's important for them to support you during Give Miami Day. Remember, like Chelsea said, all dollars raised during early giving and the power hours receive the bonus pool incentive. So every single dollar raised between November 15th and November 18th, from $25 to $10,000, will receive that bonus pool gift. I worked at KID Miami, which was a nonprofit charter school. School tours were our key bread and butter for us to engage our donors and prospects, bringing them into the school, just showing them the magic of what was happening in our classrooms was the easiest, most direct way for them to connect with our mission. I barely had to do anything. It really was a magical experience for our prospects and donors to come and see kindergartners, first and second graders learning and talking about math, standing at the front of the classroom, teaching their classmates on how to do a specific function or a grammar in sentence. And so one of the things that we did was hosting a tour. If you have a capacity of doing that, a tour of your mission, not only a school, if you have a facility that's residential and you can have guests join, you can do that and have a conversation afterwards to engage them for Give Miami Day giving. Now let's jump over to virtual events because these might actually be a more realistic event for you to host, and they're easy to put up because they're low lift in person, and they're also going to be safer for you to engage your community during COVID if you choose to do it this way. So one of the things that I did was really leverage my power hours. Power hours are your awesome 60-minute giving opportunity where you can get an additional percentage match on every single dollar that's coming in from $25 to $10,000. So the Miami Foundation is continuously fundraising for these power hours, working with sponsors and corporate donors to engage and get them to contribute to specific power hours that are their interest. So for example, mine was education. Our power hour is 11 a.m. And so for education power hour, I did live streamings through our Give Miami Day stories and hosted different conversations for donors, asked other classmates or teammates to join live, and also live streamed from classrooms to show the magic of what was happening in our schools. We promoted this IG hour to all of our donors prior to it happening so that they can join us during the power hour, and we're able to leverage those dollars as well. You can live stream a performance or a book reading, get one of your board members or a special guest in the community or a community leader who's passionate about your mission to live stream during that time or the hour leading up to the power hour. So you have your donors and prospects engaged through your social media platforms. Do a panel interview with your champions. One of the best ways to really leverage your champions, which are your peer-to-peer fundraisers, is to just engage them as to why they are giving to your mission. Why are they passionate about championing your mission? The panel interview is an opportunity for others to hear not only from you, who works at the organization, but other folks who are volunteering to engage and support your cause. And then social media takeover with partner organizations. This one actually was really cool. So at KID, I worked hand in hand with Bridge to Hope and the Marlins Foundation to provide resources for our students. Bridge to Hope's Power Hour was a different time. So it didn't contradict or go against what I was trying to do at 11 a.m. So what we did is Bridge to Hope's Reverend Vanessa joined my live IG stream from 11 to 12 and talked about her work at that time. And then I joined her live in the afternoon and talked about our work and how we partnered. And that was a great cross collaboration across nonprofits because instead of separating the causes, people can see how our nonprofits are interconnecting. And that's really what Give Miami Day is about. Let's show our donors and prospects how we all interconnect and support one another. And you can find that some donors would donate to both organizations. So those are just some examples of in-person and virtual events. Now I want to talk to you about how we can leverage all of those things to make it a successful campaign. So thinking about early giving donor engagement, getting donors involved in your mission leading up to Give Miami Day, plus the power of live streams or takeovers, those two are going to be a powerful combination and opportunity for you to really showcase and market what your organization is up to. So think about one specific story or a specific mission. The more focused you are in your purpose or what your mission is doing, the better the donor can connect with your mission, even in a virtual setting. So I want to pivot a little bit and remind you of a few things, and then we can go into Q&A because I know that there are some questions about watch parties and other things that are in more general to Give Miami Day. But before we jump into Q&A, I want to make sure that we're able to remember these things. We have I've touched on a few of the features that Give Miami Day has to offer. And then I also touched on a few skill sets that you need to have to be able to execute on these things. So one thing I want to point out is next week's branding and design, building your Give Miami Day design toolbox training that is going to be hosted by our communications team. Nikki Zarkin and Jessica Coleman are going to show you a hands-on explanation of how to use Canva for your benefit to design simple but compelling messaging and Instagram posts and designs. So you do not have to be a wizard on how to create designs. Canva has templates, it's free to use, and there's so many things that you can use there. So please make sure to sign up for next week's branding and design training with our communications team. That will help you create the flyer for the events that we just talked about. We'll also get you thinking about other concepts that you will be learning later on in the trainings. Then I know that Chelsea mentioned we have 10 trainings this year. So it's our 10th anniversary. We want to keep everything in the 10s. So we added 2 new trainings to our schedule. And the 2 are digital strategies that convert fans to donors. And that's happening September 28th. So make sure you mark your calendars. We're going to be adding those links into the key dates and trainings website so you can have access to register for those. Digital strategies that convert fans to donors is going to help you cover how to communicate through email blast, what kind of messaging to put out. So it's beyond design. You're going to be learning how to execute an actual campaign, posting, and thinking about strategies to engage your donors. So we're really trying to create a full list of comprehensive tools to give you so that you can run with your campaign and be successful at executing a Give Miami Day campaign with a lot more time. The 10th and final training session for our 10 series of trainings is how to leverage volunteers for Give Miami Day and beyond. And this is going to be an opportunity in partnership with our new partner, Virtual Volunteer Florida, who will be showing you how to leverage your volunteers that pledge hours during Give Miami Day. Because all of us got volunteers to pledge hours during Give Miami Day, but how many of us actually executed on engaging them after Give Miami Day? This is going to be that training where you learn how to get them involved and how to get them to become awesome volunteers for your organization and then potential donors for your mission. So make sure to sign up for those. And then I wanted to highlight key dates that we have here. Chelsea also mentioned early bird registration is ending August 20th. So you have 10 days to register for early bird registration to make sure that you become eligible for the early bird prize and additional benefits, including prioritization for social media highlights and other benefits. These are the other dates. These are also listed on the website. So make sure to go to the key dates and training section of the website for additional dates, links, and details. And the link, Chelsea, thank you so much for putting that in the chat, is in there. It's www.givemiamiday.org/key dates. Great. So I think we covered a lot, and I want to pause this there and really give us some space for Q&A. So make sure you're putting those questions in the chat. And we have just under 30 minutes to be able to answer those. I know that during the kickoff, we had a plethora of questions, so we wanted to make sure to give you all the space to address these questions. So let's go into, I know that there are a few, and somebody asked if we can go back to a specific slide. So yes, let me show you that slide. So if you want to, I think it was the one before bonus pool. One second. Was it?
So I think it was the Power Hour trainings or the Power Hour schedule.
Hold on, I'm. It's like going on. It's going all over the place. Sorry. Yeah, I think I clicked it too many times, so I want to make sure that I know it was the one. Okay. Pietro, was it this one? Yes. Okay. Perfect. All right. So. Yes, more hours to fundraise. Early giving gives you that. So you have all of those hours. And again, I know we touched on pledge gifts. you also, if you have commitments, knowing that they're coming in for Give Miami Day, you can process them ahead of time, and they will be eligible for the bonus pool. So remember, anything between $25 and $10,000 is eligible for bonus pool, and you can process those pledge gifts ahead of time so that Give Miami Day, the actual day, November 18th, can be a fun and exciting time, and you're not bogged down with administrative processing that day. Of course. Now, Chelsea, let's dive into the actual, I'm going to get to the end slide.
Yeah, definitely. So going back to, we have a question about the watch party example that you had mentioned in your live events. So what is an example of something that an organization could be kind of watching or kind of gathering their donors around?
Yeah, so we did this at the Aficionado bar in Brickell. We didn't technically buy out the bar because that would have been expensive, but basically I said, I have a budget of $2,000 and my event is going to be from 5 to 7:30. So spend the $2,000, and once that open bar, we did an open bar, and said once that expires, that's it. So everyone got a ticket for a drink and everyone had some food and bites. What we had, the ambiance, it was very simply decorated. I got some balloons that were the color of my brand, put them up, and I got the helium golden letters and I spelled out Give Miami Day. So that set the tone. And then they happened to have TV screens that I basically created a slideshow, PowerPoint presentation with photos of all of my students, photos of our mission and statements. So it would be like 5 photos. They would be on the screen for 5 seconds. I did an animation, just basically made it a very simple slideshow. And then every other 5 photos, there was a statement as to why KIPP is an awesome mission. And then on and on. And so I just made sure that slideshow ran the entire time. That was the way that we were set up in that specific space. We were also lucky to have the big screen. So on the screen, we just left the leaderboard up. It wasn't so much about where KIPP was on the leaderboard, but it was really more about the momentum that Give Miami Day was creating, because we not only wanted folks to fall in love with KIPP, but really to just become lifelong donors of Give Miami Day in general. So we had the leaderboard up on the big screen, and then we had slideshows on the TVs that were in the room, in the space. So I hope that maybe gives you some creativity on how you can set it up. Just anything that you do, think about how to immerse. You're not in your mission space, you're not in your organization. If you have the capacity to host this in your space, even better. I would have loved to do a watch party at our schools, but we were limited and couldn't do that within our space. But if you do have an actual facility or a boardroom that you can do this in, even better. And then I would probably marry that with like a tour and walking your donors around and showing them what's what, and then bringing them back for a few bites. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. It doesn't have to be expensive. It's really more about showing them what your work does. I hope that helps.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ruth. Okay, so next question. In the registration application to participate, it asks, what is your fundraising goal? As an organization who has never participated in Give Miami Day, I'm not sure what to set for our goal. What is the average fundraising amount?
Yeah, go ahead, Chelsea.
No, I was just going to say, I think this one is a little bit tricky. Really appreciate the question, because I do think a lot of organizations kind of have this on their mind. And really the answer is it's kind of different for every organization. We have organizations of all different sizes, small, medium, and large. So really, I would recommend, what we traditionally recommend for organizations that are smaller and just getting going, is to start small. Even we have some organizations that set a goal of $1,000 to raise through the event, or $5,000 or $10,000, whatever that looks like. With the amount of donors that you're going to be engaging with, overall, just whatever you feel comfortable with. And definitely that doesn't need to be a final fundraising goal. When you register, you can go back into your profile and update that at any time through Give Miami Day. So it can be definitely fluid and kind of can update as you kind of move along with your campaign.
Yeah. And that really depends also on like what it is that you're trying to achieve. Some nonprofits focus on Give Miami Day as their one and only fundraising event for the entire year. So their goal might be a lot bigger because it's the space that they can fundraise for their operating budget, and create a specific campaign around that. Other nonprofits use Give Miami Day as an opportunity to really focus on one part of their programming. So if your goal is to raise $20,000 to get laptops for your students, I'm always thinking schools because that's where I just came from, then your campaign can be about that and your messaging can be really specific. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do that, but I encourage you to go into our campaign resources in the nonprofit menu and book a meeting with me. And I'm happy to talk to you for 20 minutes about some strategies that you can implement for your campaign. If you have any questions about nonprofit registration, that's Chelsea's expertise. If you have any questions about marketing and fundraising, you can hit me up for book a meeting there. We have a link that makes it really easy for you to get on our calendars. I see a question in the chat. I want to make sure we get to it because we lose the questions in the chat. So make sure if you're putting your questions, you're putting them in the Q&A. Chrissy Cohen, you're saying if you are signed in, will the leaderboard show the leaders and have your organization, even if you're not on the leaderboard? Okay. So I think if you're registered, all nonprofits will show up on the leaderboard. If we have 850 nonprofits, it will order them in order of the filter. So if you're looking at the leaderboard based on amount raised, you will have the top number one nonprofit raised all the way to the last 850th nonprofit based on gifts received during Give Miami Day. So know that every single nonprofit that is participating will show up on the leaderboard. Now, if you're looking at the leaderboard, and if you're new to this, you'll be able to see and filter the leaderboard based on organization size, small, medium, large, location. So there's different filters within the leaderboard for you to look at, and you can also filter by category. So you can actually look at education nonprofits only and see where you're ranking based on compared to your peers in the education nonprofit sector. Thank you, Corbin. I thought the watch party for KIP was awesome too. It was a lot of fun and a really exciting way to like kick off our Give Miami Day and close out the day. So I think we answered that one. Yes, you can go back and change your goal.
Yep. We have another one in regard to matching funds on their profile. So a question basically asking if after we register, if you can go back in and update those. So yes. So basically the registration process is just to make sure that your organization is eligible and has all of the basic components within your public facing profile. So at any point after you submitted your registration and are approved, you'll be able to log back into your profile and update any of the public facing items, so any of the narrative, the multimedia, your fundraising goals, as well as your matching funds. And the two components that you'll be able to update even on the day of Give Miami Day are the matching fund section and the fundraising goals. So definitely don't feel locked into those sections. You can update at any time, even during the day of the event.
Yeah. I think this was related to events. Are we able to post a link to our website and social media? And I think that maybe you're referring to the nonprofit profile.
So I think it's within the event. If the organization creates an event, are they able to link their website and or social media pages?
Yes, so you have two options within the actual form, the simple form. You'll have your name, the event name, and then location would be either an in-person location and URL. And then the second option would be to include a link to your website or an external page. So you just have one other space to put another URL that's either the event registration page or your social media page. You can direct your donors or the viewer to go to any one of those locations. Now remember that URL, you may want to use it for a registration event page if you have one, so that then there is an actual space for them to go to, unless your landing page has a registration option on there and you want to direct them to the landing page for more information.
Awesome. So the next question is the $10,000 limit for bonus pool eligibility. Is that per donation or for all gifts combined? So for this one, it's per donation. So basically each individual gift is eligible between the minimum amount, which is $25 and $10,000. So it's definitely not your combined pool of gifts that you're intaking. It's just per donation.
Okay, we have another one in here. In the application, okay, we answered that one. And I think we answered that one. Oh, I think I'm doing them backwards. Sorry, Kate.
No, no worries. I think the next one we haven't answered, just to confirm, donations made during an event between November 15th and 18th are eligible for bonuses. So yes, basically, and at any point throughout the early giving period, which is between November 15th through the 17th, which is Monday to Wednesday of the week of Give Miami Day, as well as Thursday on the actual day of Give Miami Day, all gifts made at any point during those 4 days are eligible for our general bonus pool percentage match. So it's also, it's part of the reason why early giving is also beneficial. It just gives donors more of an opportunity, more days to be able to give to your organization while still receiving the additional bonus percentage.
Yeah, and remember the power hour bonus, any dollars received during that hour between 25 and 10,000 will be the additional percentage on top of the bonus. So you get 2 bonuses.
And then along that same line, can you please confirm the date for the power hours? So all power hours are going to be taking place on the actual day of Give Miami Day, which is Thursday, November 18th. And so I would recommend checking out the schedule on givemiamiday.org. We have the full list of all 11 of the power hours listed on there under the key date section, I believe it is, as well as on the power hours page of the website. And basically you can just go, oh, perfect, here it is. Yeah, so basically you'll see throughout almost every hour of the day between 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. is a different power hour. So definitely recommend checking that out and making sure that you know when your power hour is scheduled for Give Miami Day on the 18th. Let's see. The next question is relating to, okay, so how long does it take to get approved? So for registration, it really varies. We've received recently over the past week an influx of a ton of different applications. So of course, the more applications that we're receiving, the longer it takes to kind of work through those and make sure that we're getting those approved. So I would say we really aim to have them approved within 2 to 3 business days, but sometimes during high volume periods, it may take a bit longer.
We have a question in the chat. When will the first intro webinar replay be available? Yeah, so we're working on trimming the audio and video for that recording, and we'll be posting it up. So where you were able to register, that button where it said register for webinar, that will be changed to watch recording, and it will be hyperlinked there. So yes, all of the trainings will be recorded and will then be uploaded into our YouTube channel. It will be uploaded into the backend resource center that we also highlighted during the kickoff, and will also be hyperlinked via our key dates and trainings page. So make sure to go there. Hope to have it available the following week. So we will kind of be working on a cadence of having the trainings available, the recordings available a week after they are live.
Awesome. So the next question relates to the categories and the power hours. So there isn't a women's power hour. Just wondering whether there is any hope for a gender equity power hour. So this really varies. Based on the categories that we have right now, we have found over recent years of Give Miami Day these to be the most comprehensive. So you can see with a bunch of the different categories that they're pretty broad. So thinking about education and youth being very broad, or social and community support services are just very broad, very comprehensive of a lot of different types of organizations that are doing really amazing work throughout our community. So we've tried to really narrow these in and hone them in to make sure that we're being as inclusive and as comprehensive as possible, but we're definitely open to any suggestions in the future if we feel like there are organizations that aren't being included in these categories, and we're definitely open to exploring that with you.
Yeah, and we'll be sending out a survey. We didn't want to bombard you guys with a bunch of surveys after every single one of the trainings. So come September, the first week of September, we will be sending out a survey to see what you're thinking about the trainings. And that's an opportunity for you to give us your feedback and share more insight as to like what it is that you are appreciating, any ideas that you have. And so one of these suggestions would be great to include in there. And so know that we really value your feedback. Surveys for us help us understand what our community nonprofits need and are also looking for. And so we are happy to take those things into consideration.
All right, and next question, once we submit our registration, do we have to wait until confirmation to go back into the profile to make any edits. So yes, basically, and hopefully, we'll have it fully approved within 2 to 3 business days. But basically, you do have to wait until it's been approved and it's public facing in order to be able to go back in and make any edits to your profile. I'm not seeing any more questions. I think we've covered everything.
I think we have.
We'll give it at least another minute or two. If there's anyone else that has any other questions, want to submit them into the Q&A feature, and we're happy to get them answered.
While we wait for any additional questions, I want to show you all really quick. So this is what the nonprofit search page would look like. So our donors will be able to go donor nonprofit event. Very simple. And then since this is the only one that has been submitted so far, it's showing up here already. Just so you know, it won't show past events, meaning if it's November 16th, this event that was supposed to be happening November 15th won't show on this event. So only will show current date and future date events from November 15th to November 18th. And if you have any questions around campaign resources, you can go into the nonprofit header and scroll down over to campaign resources. This is where you will find links to downloadable designs, logos, our email, nonprofit FAQ, as well as the links to book a meeting with Chelsea or myself.
Awesome. So I'm not seeing any other questions coming into the Q&A. Oh, awesome. I got it posted there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have one additional question. What does the link look like that we send to potential donors?
What link? I'm trying to understand. Is this event?
I think it's the, for events, the URL that's going to be sent to donors.
Yeah, so if you go into, let me open up that slide. One moment. So in this page, so this is the window that's going to pop up when you're creating the event. And basically, there's no link for them to go to search specifically for, like if you're trying to direct them to your specific event, you can tell them to find it within the nonprofit event search page, or they can you can share your external link about the event. So you can let them know that it's available on the Give Miami Day page for searching, but really that's just sort of like a posting. Think of it as a digital flyer. You want to be able to take your donors into another space where they can register so you can track that engagement. So that you're able to then know who would actually be attending the event, or if it's an open event, then just announcing it as such. So I hope that helps answer the question. If you want to create a landing page, a Facebook page, you can post it in there. And that's really the link that I would be sharing with folks. This is more of a general forum of events that exist for Give Miami Day, where donors can go and find more events that are happening throughout the week.
Awesome. I'm not seeing any other questions coming into the chat. So
what you're talking about, I'm so sorry. Sorry, y'all. This one.
There we go.
Yeah. So here an external link about the event. That's really the URL you want to drive. Like that should be a URL that you created that then you're posting on here. But there's no real way to direct your donors to the specific event, because it's not like a page that exists within the platform. It's sort of an announcement. And so you're able to just share that information with them. So I would highly encourage you to either create an Eventbrite or a Facebook group or something on your website that gives them a registration opportunity or a way to RSVP that they'll be attending That way you know who's coming to your event. Great.
Awesome. So I think we've gotten everything answered. But yeah, definitely wanted to mention also that this recording will be available on the website on the key dates and trainings page. As well as if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to our team at givemiamiday@miamifoundation.org. And we'll be happy to either set up some time with you via our office hours for Give Miami Day or get your questions answered via email.
Even those who are not internet natives or techie, I'm so glad you guys are getting a lot of resources out of these. That's really the goal. And we hope that you join us back for next week's training on branding and design.
Thank you all so much. All right, take care.